We know that ISFPs can sometimes seem lost in space, with their mind far away from time to time. Don't worry. It's not that they're lost in space. They just always have a song playing in their head or are listening to what other people say or even noises around them, with their mind completely blank. But hey, it's just an ISFP thing. The ISFP has a random song stuck on repeat inside their head. They're not lost in space or anything like that, they are literally hearing this one song over and over again. They might be able to hear what other people are saying too, but it's more of an echo-y thing rather than listening intently. This is because the ISFP loves paying attention to sounds so much that sometimes they get wrapped up in it without realizing it. And then when someone tries to talk with them about something important, well, good luck getting through. If you're an ISFP, congratulations. You are a rare breed and we celebrate your uniqueness. Take this advice from one of your own to help you get the most out of life as an ISFP. You just don't register because your brains are too busy playing music to you 24/7. Funny, right? Don't worry about it though, just try not to zone out when people talk to you or else they'll think something is wrong with you. And if someone ever asks what song your brain has been playing lately, tell them In My Feelings by Drake. They might have heard of him. An ISFP's mind is a vortex of daydreams, feelings, and instinctual emotion. Blowing around their thoughts are clouds of various figments from the outer world which have been filtered through their personal lens to produce butterflies. Butterfly impacts the inside surface of their hearts. When they stare off into space, it's often because they're listening to music that exists only in their minds or perhaps due to being overcome by a sudden memory that welled up from deep within their inner wellspring. They tend to be deeply attached and loving towards those whom they hold dear and show a carefree attitude towards the outside world, even when it doesn't line up with what's going on internally. They're still half full of air and all that. Traditionally, it's symbolized by bubbles floating upward in their heads, which they like to illustrate with pictures of fizzy water probably because that makes them seem less emotional than other types, which is kind of hilarious. They're an introverted feeling type who prefers a lot of internal clarity and insight rather than external input. Living inside their own heads for extended periods is their idea of a chill hangout session. Emotions don't sink deep into the ISFP mind as they do in most people, and external interactions can be exhausting if there isn't time to process afterward. So, there's no fiction and ISFPs are the most empty-headed ones. That doesn't mean anything is wrong with them or that they should be fixed. It just means they've got more important things happening than what you might think about first thing in the morning. Like music, for instance, it's always playing somewhere around us. So, what does this mean for an ISFP? Well, it means that they aren't lost in space or anything like that. They're just paying close attention to their surroundings and all of the different sounds around them. They don't necessarily hear every word you say when you talk with them because they might be too busy trying to listen to all of the different sounds in their environment at once. That's really it. ISFPs are not lost in space, and they are not ignoring you. They just like paying attention to what's going on around them. If you ever need some help understanding ISFPs, just know that they are totally okay with this zoning out thing because it helps them process things that are going on around them. Or, if you're feeling a little lost in space yourself and could use a quick pick-me-up, just try thinking about what your favorite song sounds like. That should do the trick. Things that go on in their heads, well, it might sound a little bit weird at first. They're likely visualizing the world as an impressionist painting dotted with objects of beauty and emotive design, or they could be thinking of vivid, dynamic colors. It depends on the person and where their interests lead them. They're not trying to turn life into an impressionist painting. It just happens naturally with ISFPs because that's what they see in their heads. It doesn't mean that other people won't enjoy the view as well. It's also important to let them know that you're listening. For ISFPs, the world is a place where they can experience and explore their senses and emotions. They want to lead an authentic life, the kind of life they imagine for themselves instead of living someone else's idea of what they should be. This doesn't mean they're going to refuse your help or advice, it just means that you should respect their freedom and let them do their thing. That's not as hard as it sounds. It turns out that even though ISFPs can come across as very quiet and reserved, they actually have a ton of energy. They can run around all day like an Energizer bunny if they're doing something that's important to them. If you think about it, the ISFP life motto could be this: do great things and enjoy every single second of it. If you can help an ISFP enjoy their time doing something, you'll be a huge part of making them happy. Just don't try to stop them from enjoying anything they feel passionate about. That should be pretty obvious. When someone's passionate about something or believes in something strongly, they're hard to budge. Don't try to change the ISFP, and don't expect them to change for you. ISFPs know who they are and won't allow someone else to mess with that. It's always important to respect people, but it's especially true with an ISFP. Never underestimate their determination.